Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. The topic is heading into the season, stress, uncertainty, and landowners. My name is Monica McConkey, and I'm the owner of Eyes on the Horizon Consulting, which specializes in agricultural mental health. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and this is year 31 of working in the behavioral health field. So, the first thing I want to talk about when we are heading into stressful times is how we know that someone might be struggling. So, just to review some warning signs that are very common, and when I say struggling, it doesn't necessarily mean that people are suicidal. However, it could mean they're suicidal. So, it's important that we pick up on these signs, and then we'll talk about what to do in a little bit. But some of the common warning signs we see among our farming and ranching families when they are stressed or in crisis are isolation. They may begin withdrawing, not showing up to places that they have shown up for in the past, canceling meetings, or just not getting back to you. So I'm not hearing from this person anymore. We may also experience seeing mood changes in that individual. If you have worked with them in the past, you have a good sense of the type of person they are, how they come across, their energy level, their mood. And if we start seeing changes to that baseline functioning, that is a warning sign. In agriculture specifically, if we are hearing people talk about sales of land, livestock, or equipment that doesn't seem like it was part of the plan, that can be a warning sign. It could be an indication that they are really tying up loose ends to make it quote unquote easier for the family when they're gone. Um, if the farm, the crops, the fence lines, the quality of the livestock, if there seems to be this sense of things are falling into disrepair. So the quality isn't there like it used to be, the attention to detail isn't there like it used to be. We're the sense of like this person is falling behind, they can't keep up. That is a warning sign. If the person has experienced farm accidents, this is a prime, perfect storm time for farm accidents to happen when people are stressed. And we'll talk about why in a little bit. So, injuries, accidents, if they are letting you know or complaining of illnesses, if they're telling you that they're not sleeping well, up in the middle of the night with racing thoughts, if we are noticing that substance use has increased, this is a common coping strategy among our egg producers when they feel like the stress is overwhelming and don't know what else to do. Not uncommon to turn to alcohol or drugs to cope. There's a general lack of motivation. If they seem to lack hope heading into the new year, if there's no excitement about putting in the crop or calving happening, that's a clue or warning sign. Bills piling up is another one. Statements of hopelessness. So it may sound like, I can't do this anymore. This is never going to work. I don't know why I bother trying. My family would be better off without me. I just want to be done. Any of those types of statements are also warning signs. And also the family exhibiting stress. So our family is our system. And so if one person in the system is struggling, typically we will see other members of the family struggling as well. I want to touch on chronic stress just briefly to help us understand what's happening. And I'll go more into detail in this in the full webinar. But when a person has experienced stress for a long period of time, we call that chronic stress. And there are a number of things that happen to them when they are living in chronic stress mode. Mainly, their nervous system does not have the chance to just relax. Their body remains in a constant state of arousal. They are alert continually to anything that's potential danger, bad news, something going wrong. So in this chronic stress mindset, producers are going to have difficulty thinking, remembering, making decisions, prioritizing, because those are all brain functions that really go offline when we're experiencing stress. And that's important for all of us to know when we're working with farmers, that if they're chronically stressed, their mental abilities are probably going to be really diminished. So I think of it, the analogy I use for this to help us remember is a teeter-totter or a seesaw, whatever you grew up calling it, that when our emotions are elevated, so stress, overwhelm, frustration, the thinking, rational problem-solving part of our brain is really diminished. So ideally, we would be in a level teeter-totter, calm and rational. But for many of our farmers, their emotions stay elevated because they're in chronic stress mode. So what do we do when we are working with people who are chronically stressed? It's really important that we are a listener. Farmers who are struggling often isolate, and there are a very few chosen select number of people who can kind of infiltrate that isolation. And those in ag business professions working with farmers are those chosen few. So you are going to see this farmer, have contact with them, have eyes on them long before someone like me as a counselor is going to. So you may be one of the few people that they trust and are going to open up to. So be that listener. You're probably thinking, I was not trained for this. Like, I just want to talk about the issue at hand here. But for that farmer to get to talking about the business at hand, they may need to unload some things first. One thing that really helps someone in chronic stress is saying to them, hearing them out, and then saying to them, okay, let's make a plan. Plans are really good when someone's experiencing stress because it can get that mindset back into thinking, planning, prioritizing, like more of a rational place. It's important that you be clear and concise because, again, people chronically stressed, their brains are taxed. So they're not able to take in typically a lot of narrative, a lot of words, a lot of information. So think bullet points, think I need to write this down for them so they can look back at it. Checking in is really important and providing resources because they may be experiencing a mental health crisis or just need further help. So we'll be diving into North Dakota resources specifically a bit more in the webinar. But one resource that is always available, no matter where you are at, is 988. And 988 is the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So you can call it, you can text it, you can chat online with 988. Great resource for our egg producers living in rural areas where there aren't a lot of counselors or support systems available. So feel free to give that number, use that number yourself. If you're worried about somebody, you can text 988 and say, this is the situation. I'm not sure what to do. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this gives you some tips and hints at just keeping eyes open to struggling producers, especially heading into this spring when we know, commodity prices are tough. I'm sure weather will throw challenges at us like it normally does. So there's going to be a number of hurting people. Thank you so much for being here.